Okay, my next guest here is Steve. He's better known on Instagram as Stretch underscore 5.0. And hi, Steve.
Hey Mara, how you doing tonight?
Good. Uh, Basically, you and I both belong on various automotive groups on Instagram, and I've seen all of your posts on your Instagram of your car, and wanted to bring you on to the show, and talk about your car, what all you've done to it, and learn a little bit more about you and some of your sponsors. So, right now, I got your Instagram page up, and I'll have links in the show descriptions for people to find you. But how's it going?
It's going good. I definitely appreciate you reaching out and having me on. It was definitely a welcome surprise when you did ask me. It's certainly nice to see that someone like yourself has noticed the car and definitely wanted to talk to about it, talk about me, and get to know a little bit better.
Cool. So, I guess first off, on the Mustang, was it your very first Mustang? Were you always Ford products, or
No, actually, this is my second Mustang. My first one I got back in 2015. But before that, I was predominantly a Chevy fan from my teenage years through my 20s and whatnot. I've had a couple of Camaros. They were both I think fourth or fifth gen body style. The IROCs. It was 86 and a 92.
Okay, that'd be like I think fourth gen, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I believe.
Or third gen.
I've been out of the Chevy game so long, I've kind of forgotten what gen is what.
Yeah, that's like when they came out with the Transformer Bumblebee Camaro, that would be fifth gen. So then the angular stuff would be yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got buddies that are in the Camaro field. Chris and Jason of the Camaro Z28 podcast, which is now known as the Camaro Show. Shameless plug for those two guys. So I've known them for a few years. So, yeah, and actually one of them is actually in your neck of the woods in Tennessee. So that's cool.
Really? Where about?
He's around outside, I think, the Nashville area.
Oh, you'll have to shoot me his social media stuff. I'll have to look him up, and if I'm not already following him as it is, I know I follow a lot of people from the Nashville area.
Yeah,
and, I'm only 2 hours outside of Nashville myself, so.
Yeah, he's definitely. Well, he does the Camaro Show podcast week. It's a weekly thing that they do, and I know he's there, and his partner Chris is back in Clinton, Michigan, where they both started everything. But business home opportunities. He couldn't pass it up, so he moved out to Tennessee. But yeah, he's got a YouTube channel as well. I'll give him a plug. It's Jason's Garage on YouTube, and yeah, I'll definitely get you some his social links. I'm not sure if he's on Instagram or not. I'll double check, but he's definitely on YouTube. And yeah,
I mean, regardless of Ford, Chevy, Dodge, car people are car people. We all need to definitely stick together and make the community good. I see so much toxicity in the car scene lately that whether it's battles between domestic and import, Ford versus Chevy, it's just, can't we all just agree that cars are awesome and all be brought together because of them?
Exactly. And it's like the premise for my channel. It's like you could pigeonhole yourself into one particular brand, but you know what, things happen, and you got to branch out, and not everybody likes one particular brand. You got to keep open-minded, and that's what I try to do with my brand and my properties, that I try to showcase everything. It's like if you go to my website, gearvlogs.com, and you read my blog post, you're going to see a variety of different automotive news announcements. It could be something from Maserati to Ferrari to Land Rover to Honda, whatever. It's like I'm always going to have a daily article that I think my readers might like. If not, comment below or leave a message on the blog post what you want to see different, and I'll try to address the changes. But yeah,
outstanding. Yeah, so yeah, we all like to give each other some ribs every now and then, and joke about this stuff. But at the end of the day, we all have awesome machines, and we like to have fun with them.
Exactly. Going to, I guess, so you also have another website. You have like I don't know if this is a hobby account or business account or whatnot, but you have like a second Instagram account you do photography.
Yes, I do. I've been doing photography for quite a few years now. I mean, I started back in high school and took a few years off, and then had kids, and they sparked my interest in it again, and started photographing local racing back when I lived in Connecticut. I was photographing air shows, and then when I moved to Tennessee, I started photographing sports professionally, and about a year and a half ago, I had put the camera down for a little bit. And then when I got this car and started doing stuff with it and started developing my Instagram account, obviously Instagram is picture and video driven. So, dug the camera back out and started going out and just snapping pics of the car and my friends' cars. And it's actually really taken off for me as far as, getting back into it and having a big love for it again. Just, I've started bringing models into the mix, and so I figure if I put that other page out there, I could, kind of take some content away from the car that the people that like my Stretch 5.0 page might not particularly care for. If I go out and shoot landscapes or sports or something like that.
Right.
It's just an outlet for me to, broaden my horizons a little more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, it's kind of a great way, because I was actually debating whether or not kind of like doing the same thing, like, coming with like, I don't know what they call it, personal, like Mario Gear, Instagram page, specifically to my own personal take and whatnots, that little mixed bag of everything that I'm into versus keeping everything car related or, on my main channel right now, or Instagram, I mean. So, it's that. So it looks like, from your Instagram page, you attend a lot of Mustang events. So you travel quite a bit.
I do. I love driving the car. So,
Yep.
If there's an event that I can drive to, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to drive there. I'm not going to put it on a trailer. Not that I'm taking a shot at anybody that does. If you want to keep your car looking pristine and, not get it covered in rock chips, I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I love driving it. And, I went to Mustang Week for the first time this year, even though it wasn't an official Mustang Week because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I've driven the car up to New York. I've driven it to Texas, Kansas City, Wisconsin, down to Florida. So it definitely gets some miles on it. And, this year, unfortunately, the show scene has been absolutely terrible because events were getting canceled left and right. I was supposed to go to Ponies in the Smokies. That got postponed and ultimately canceled after the second date was a no-go. I was supposed to go to Texas Mustang Invasion down in Dallas, and that got also succumbed to the COVID epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully 2021 is looking up. Aside from Mustang Week this year, the only stuff that I did was local shows out in my neck of the woods. So smaller shows, usually no more than 50 or 60 cars at them. I think there was one show that we went to that had over 300 at it, but that was about the extent of the larger ones.
Okay. Yeah. So, you mentioned Ponies in the Smokies. Was it your first time attending it? Or how many times?
That was going to be my first one with Ponies in the Smokies as well. I was really looking forward to it. Thankfully, they are honoring this year's
registration
tickets. Registrations in 2021. Same as Texas Mustang Invasion. They're honoring everyone's registrations this year for next year's show.
Okay.
And that was going to be my first one of those as well. Definitely two shows that I was really disappointed that just didn't happen this year.
Yeah, I heard about at least Ponies in the Smokies from another automotive YouTube channel, Mustang related YouTube channel on YouTube. I'm not sure if he's still around. Haven't seen any recent content from him, which was TKO Restorations, and basically a kid building up his own body shop restoration, and he would, and he's I think out of Kentucky, I believe, but he would basically document the painting body work process on different Mustangs. So, which I found interesting. I love this content, but then I understand trying to run a business and pay the bills, all that stuff, kind of gets in the way. So it takes its toll when you're a one man person trying to do everything. So
yeah, definitely does. I can only imagine what if he was working another job and doing all that. I barely have enough time in the day to do what I want to do. I can't even imagine trying to run a business while doing another job.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, looks like I got a shot here. I'm going to pull up one of the shots I got here that I want to talk. And it's a nice little engine-based shot of your Edelbrock E-Force supercharger, I believe.
Yes.
And
it originally was not the route that I wanted to go. I originally had wanted to put a Roush blower on the car. And I really wanted to do Whipple, but I knew at the time that I couldn't afford Whipple.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got the quote for the Roush, even that was a little bit high. And I didn't want to go centrifugal. And when I was talking to the folks that ultimately did the install on the car, they recommended the Edelbrock. And at the time, I didn't even know that Edelbrock was making superchargers for my car, and for some reason I thought that they were a centrifugal piece as well. And when they set straight, when they set me straight and told me that it was a TBS model, I jumped on it, especially when they gave me the price. Oh man, excuse me.
Yeah, if you don't mind me, let me going back to here. Basically, who was your shop that you used to do the install? It was Brent Speed?
Yeah, the install was Brent Speed. They're up in North Webster, Indiana. As far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, and the reason I went to them for the same thing was I had been told that if you have a 5.0 Mustang, those are the people to go see. And I called them up. Getting a quote for them, was absolutely painless. It was, if I wanted something, they would, if they didn't agree with me wanting, that it'd be a good idea, they would point me in the right direction and tell me why they thought it wasn't a good idea and recommend an alternative to do. They were great with, recommending stuff that was helping stay within my budget, hence the Edelbrock supercharger. And they know these cars. He's been working on Mustangs since the late 90s. As far back, was working on pushrod engines.
Okay.
And he has absolutely perfected working on these 5.0s. From what I understand with talking to him, basically any product or service that they offer up there, as far as I understand, they'll do all the R&D, and they'll even, do setups on their own vehicles up there just to make sure that they're getting the best possible package they can give to their customer. And he won't go in and absolutely build your car blindly. He'll go with the power levels that he know are going to be safe, unless obviously if you ask him, for more. Mm-hmm. But he's not going to give you a final product that's going to blow up, 5 miles down the road.
True. And actually, you bring up a good point on the subject that, some people don't want to address, but obviously I'm in California, so you can imagine what all the crap I got to deal with, and anyone else who lives in California has to deal with. But what are the rules or requirements in Tennessee? Like, is it like just do you guys have emissions?
Emissions and stuff.
Emissions and stuff, or that, or vehicle inspections. What's that like in Tennessee?
Well, it all depends on where you are in Tennessee. When I first moved to Tennessee, I was living in the Nashville metropolitan area, and in which is Davidson County. Mm-hmm. In Davidson, and I think 2 or 3 other counties that make up the metroplex there, there are emission standards. There are other, I guess, safety or mechanical inspections that are done.
Mm-hmm.
But now I live 2 hours outside of Nashville, and we have no restrictions whatsoever. I mean, I guess from what I've been told, there are some laws about it, but nobody checks them. I mean, we don't have to go get emissions tested, and I'm not running any cats on the car right now.
Okay.
Because I don't have to worry about going and failing that emissions test.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, it's, those are the things. It's like you see some of the million subscriber YouTube channels. You see what things that they do to their cars, and I'm like going, yeah, that's not going to fly in California.
Yeah, how much money are you spending every other year to get the thing? You either know a shop that's faking your test, or you're spending money every couple of years to put shit back on. I'm sorry, put stuff back on the car and get it through the test and then take it right back off. So I don't get it sometimes. Or those cars just aren't registered and street legal.
Or in certain situations where you have, what's the word? There are some rare counties in California to where there are emission exempt requirements. So basically, if you have a address where you can register your vehicle, guess what? You don't have to do the biannual emission tests. So it's like, those are far few between, and who knows how much money that you would have to own to, all that crap. So
I know there's been places that I've lived where if you were able to register it as a farm vehicle, you were exempt from stuff. So it would be nice, driving down the road and see like a '92 Fox body Mustang with a farm tag on the back. Like, that's not a farm vehicle. But then you understand why.
Yeah. So I also got some images that I'm pulling up here right now. It looks like interior shots of your car. So love the interior shots that I'm seeing. And
it's definitely been an area of the car that I've taken a lot of pride in doing. I've got a great set of seats from the folks over at Brom Racing.
Okay.
They are the design of the seat is great. They complement the interior very well, and on top of that, they're just absolutely comfortable. When I first got them, I had people, telling me like, "Oh, you're not going to be comfortable in those. You're only going to be able to ride in the car for an hour at a time before, you're going to want to get out and walk around a little bit." And since I've put those seats in, I've driven that car from West Tennessee to, past New York City, to Myrtle Beach, to Kansas City, and I have not had one issue with comfort in those seats. And they're just top notch. They're durable, and I wouldn't put any other brand in the car.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pulling up some shots now, like interior shots. I like the diamond stitching pattern that you went with on the car.
Yeah, I hate to say it, I did, see it in other cars online, and I try to be different with my car, but that was one thing that I saw and said, that's just the best looking design that I have ever seen on a set of these seats. And I had to get it because, the red stitching matches the car and the black matches the rest of the interior. And the red, I could have gotten it without the red piping around the top, but I think that just helped set it off even more.
Yeah, definitely. And this one shot that I'm looking at looks like it was shot down. So you got your driver's seat bottom, and you saw like the flooring of the car. But I'm noticing some carbon fiber pieces around the center console area. And is that like a different company that you're using?
Yeah, those are Dyna Performance. They have an Instagram page as well. They make some very quality carbon fiber overlays. They're just your typical 3M backing on them, and you just put them over your existing surface.
Okay, so you use like alcohol wipes to the surface before you stick them on, that type of thing. Gotcha.
and wear rubber gloves that way you're not getting fingerprints on stuff because they are a very, very high tack adhesive on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been in the car for over a year and a half now, I think. And I mean, they hold up. They still have as much glossiness to them as the day that I put them in. And I rest my arm on the center console a lot. Driving a manual, my arm is going to be there all the time for, especially when I'm around town, shifting a lot. And no, I mean, they haven't dulled, they haven't peeled, they haven't faded, nothing. So I highly recommend if someone's looking at getting the overlays. I know there's a lot of brands out there now that have been coming onto the market, but some are cheaper than others, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah, and one of the shots I'm actually looking at, it looks like you have the Phoenix Automotive Android radio upgrade.
I do. I have mixed emotions or mixed feelings about that piece.
Okay.
While it looks great, it doesn't have all of the functionality that I wish it did. There seem to be some bugs with my unit that I'm actually working with a friend of mine here locally that got one himself. Actually, I ended up getting this one because they sent him the wrong one.
Okay.
And so he's helping me get some of those bugs squared out, and hopefully one of these days I'll have the thing at full functionality to where I can use the maps and everything flawlessly. Right now, I just, use it as a radio and listen to music and have a cool little screenshot of my car in there while I'm driving around, but that's about all it's good for at the moment.
Okay, well, from what I remember, like on the YouTube videos I've seen on the product, my understanding was it was supposed to somehow link up to your cell phone for the maps and such, I thought. Or
yeah, and even now, like mine, it hooks up and then it'll, the connection gets severed, or it's very buggy at the moment.
Okay, so maybe it's a firmware
the
update.
Feature isn't really working.
Gotcha.
And I think my biggest, I don't want to say pet peeve, but the biggest disappointment that I had with it was when you get it and you go to install it, you're really on your own as far as hooking it up to your car.
Mm-hmm.
Because they include no documentation with it, no instructions with it. Right. So you're pretty much at the mercy of your knowledge with audio wiring and automotive wiring.
Gotcha. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's like, because obviously with me, I'm kind of looking at doing an S550, the newer style, and
okay.
I've seen ones. I'm not sure it's the same company or not, or a different company, but the one I saw that I liked the idea, it actually had some of the gauges or buttons integrated part of it, like the AC, I guess.
Yes. Actually, the friend of mine that I got this radio from, his is an S550, and I got this because instead of sending him the S550 radio, they sent him an S197 radio.
Right.
So when he finally did get his after 2 or 3 attempts of getting the wrong things or broken things, he did get that one. And I do believe that it has the buttons integrated into it. It has some gauges integrated into it as well. And if I remember correctly, he said it did unlock some different modes for the car itself, like driving modes.
Really?
Yeah, like you can go into sport mode and stuff now. I'm still kind of boggled with how a aftermarket radio like that would end up unlocking features of his car when it's not a Ford production radio. But apparently it does unlock some different features of the car.
Well, it's I guess a great mod before the way all of the auto manufacturers are taking what's it? I guess cybersecurity for their vehicles now these days. So I'm sorry, somebody was able to crack into the brains to the canvas to be able to do that. So enjoy it while you can, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool. Yeah, definitely love those seats because they kind of remind me of like a Recaro style seating, but mixed in with a motorsport esque kind of like a Sparko design, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I was a little bit nervous at first when I did start looking into getting them, and when I finally did pull the plug and order them, because I sat in a GT350 not long after I got this car, and it had the Recaros in it, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I was not comfortable in the Recaros. They were really narrow, and I'm not a small person. You know, I'm not a big guy, but I'm 6'5". I weigh almost 300 pounds, so. The Recaros were not comfortable at all.
Okay.
So when I got these and was reading that they say, if you have over a 38-inch waist, do not get these seats. So I was worried because, I've got, I think at the time, like a 46-inch waist.
Yeah.
So I was nervous. I'm like, man, did I just spend this kind of money and I'm going to have seats that I can't return because I don't fit in them? And they fit perfectly. So when they say, if you have over a 38-inch waist, don't get them, like, there is some leeway in there. I fit in them. I'm 6'5", and I have a 46-inch waist, and I couldn't be more comfortable in them right now.
So, but not to say anything, but I guess you and I are both on about the same waistline level, so I guess I'd fit in there perfect well too then. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Big Boat! Okay. Well, I'm pulling up right now looks like an invoice from when you started this project. So maybe we can talk a little bit about it.
Is that my build quote from Brent Speed?
Yep.
By chance, when I announced that I was getting a supercharger.
Yep, exactly. I found it interesting. It looks like they sold you on the E-Force kit without the tuner. For some people who are not familiar how Edelbrock does things, you have options if you want to. If you're in a state where you need to be legal and you want it to be 50 state legal, they'll sell you the kit with the tuner. And then if you want to save a few bucks and you're going to be doing a bunch of other modifications, you can order the kit without the tuner. So it looks like they ordered the kit without the tuner and sold you the tuner that would come with it that they could program. So, which is kind of cool.
I trying to remember back because they, it was their package that they put together. So it was, they got the supercharger from Edelbrock. It was the Stage 2 kit that I got,
mm-hmm.
and they provide the tuner that they like working with,
which is basically the SCT tuner, which is instead of having the branding of Edelbrock on it, it just says SCT on it.
Yeah, and I think even if you get the kit from Edelbrock, I think even they sell it with the SCT, which is pretty much one of the standard tuners on the market right now.
Yeah,
as far as handhelds.
Yeah, it's going to either be SCT, Diablo Sport, or anybody else. It's going to be the you're going to be buying credits for HP Tuner, I think, are the three big players.
Yeah, because a lot of people that I talk to like to go with the Engage setup.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, I like just having the handheld. I only plug it in when I need it. If I have to retune the car or something, whether it's I drive a little bit west and I can't get 93 octane anymore and I have to bump down to 91.
You have a tune there ready for it. Yeah, so
what was that?
Basically, like you were saying, if you run into a situation where you can't get 93, you can. Yeah. I think the handheld can hold like 4 different tunes, I believe. So you can just pick up.
So I've got 2 on there right now.
Yeah, so you can then download them.
And I very rarely have to retune anymore just because I always carry a supply of butane in the trunk with me for when I do run into those situations.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's definitely cool. And then I'm kind of impressed with the numbers. I guess there's I got a dynograph sheet here. If you want me to hold off on showing that or not, I'll not make it public if you don't want me to.
No, it's on my page, and I'm not one of those, people that's going to, keep my numbers hidden. I've got nothing to prove. There's, most cars out there are faster than mine now as it is. So, when it was installed, and I did have the dyno done that day, I was putting out a pretty stout 571 at the wheels, and I think I was 488 torque at the time at the wheels. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Might have been 489.
Yeah. Yeah, all I can say is it looks like you had 570.36 max power and at 7.2, I think, RPMs or 7,200, I guess.
7,200.
Yeah. Oh my god. There's only so much I can see on this small screen here that I'm looking at.
So I have done some upgrades since then.
Okay.
I did improved cooling system for both the radiator. I upgraded to an AFCO aluminum 1-inch radiator. I put in a VMP triple pass dual fan heat exchanger for the supercharger itself. I've upgraded the throttle body to a larger BBK 85 millimeter throttle body. I had wanted to go to a 90 millimeter, but I talked to my tuner, and he told me that if I wanted to avoid having to redo my tune, to go with the 85, because the 90 would lead to unwanted throttle surge. So I figured, factory is 80 millimeter on the 5.0. Get the go up to the 85. It'll still give a nice, 15, 20 horsepower bump.
Exactly.
So between doing that with the improved cooling, I haven't had it on a dyno since then, but I'm probably somewhere between 590 and 6 at the wheels now. Which, like I said, I mean it's stout, but there are far faster cars out there right now, pretty much on the regular. Since that Gen 3 Coyote came out, that these Gen 1s just can't touch it. The Gen 3s, you put a blower on that thing and you're over, 750 at the wheels instantly.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? What the newer ones, what you can do with them. It just, it's like, makes you like going, I want something new.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I feel with, I got my SN95, my 95 Cobra, and now you got basically a New Edge V6 that has more horsepower than me. It's like, hey, because like, I'm kind of disappointed now.
Yeah. And, it's kind of ridiculous, even just between, like, mine is a 14 and a 19, where, it's still a 5 liter. And the power is just so much different, and they can do, with the power adders, they can do so much more, where I'm basically right now at almost the threshold of where I can't put any more power to it without making it go boom.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to put 800-900 horsepower to the wheel in this thing, but it's going to take, taking the engine out, tearing it down, putting forged internals in it, doing the oil pump gears, which, yes, I know. Shame on me, I didn't do the oil pump gears on this, but, I don't beat on the car. I'm not out at the strip doing pulls with it. I save that for the interstate. So I do treat the car good, so I'm not overly concerned with my oil pump gears going out on me, knock on wood. I have known some people. I mean, I met a guy at a car show right after I got the supercharger done on this, and he was bragging about how he takes the car and shifts it at $7,000 every single shift of every single day. And all I could think was, man, I feel sorry for your engine. And that's the kind of stuff that blows the factory oil pump gears in these things. I really haven't heard too many stories about them getting the oil pump gears letting go under normal use, even with a boosted engine. As long as you treat the car good, the stuff's gonna last.
Right. Okay. Next shot I got up here that I just pulled up. Let's kind of do like a Hot Ones take. Explain that, Graham. I'm looking at your, I guess, downloading on your SCT handheld tuner. Was that the initial when they were programming it, or were you doing some up changes?
I think it was actually the first time that I had to switch from the 93 tune to the 91 tune. I was on my way out to Wichita to go visit a good buddy of mine, he's from Instagram. It's on 99 Slobra. Had to put in that shameless plug for him.
Okay.
And I got to western Missouri and could not find 93 anywhere. And after about 45 minutes to an hour of bouncing from gas station to gas station, backtracking, finally just said, all right, enough's enough, and pulled into the first gas station I saw, threw the 91 tune in it, filled it up, and then I suffered on 91 octane and lower horsepower for the rest of the weekend.
Oh, that sucks. It happens,
Yeah. It's just amazing what 2 octane points will do for that horsepower curve.
Hey, be thankful that at least you have access to 93. The most that we can get is 91, unless we want to spend the extra money to get Unical Racing or VP Racing fuel at the pump at $8 to $9 a gallon.
I was looking in 2021. I was looking at actually making a West Coast road trip with the car, and was trying to figure out, especially after not even getting to Kansas and not seeing 93 anymore. I started asking around, like, hey, can I get 91 here? Can I get 93 here? Like Vegas, I know that you can find 93. But then California, I was asking some of my friends from out there, and they're like, you can, but it's few and far between. Like, you've got to really hunt for it.
Yeah, it's like I guess it'd be considered race fuel, and it'd be like 100 octane or higher, basically. That you can find actually at the pump. I know of at least 3 different stations that within my county alone that where you can drive up to it and get it. But it goes down to you're going to be paying whatever market price is for that stuff, which is going to be anywhere from $8 on up per gallon, and it's like,
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, hell, I guess it's expected because I went to LA last year just for a weekend visit and filling up the rental car, just seeing the signs there. It was like almost $4 a gallon just for 87.
Yeah,
and granted, it was near the airport, but I was like it's not even $2.50 where I live for 87. Like, hell, I don't even think it was over $2 a gallon for 87.
It really stinks about that too here in the Bay Area. Yeah, those are kind of like the prices that we kind of usually pay. But then again, I've been stuck inside so long, I don't even know what gas prices are like these days. But yeah, we got like in the North Bay, we got like at least 4 or 5 different refineries there. So it's like, so tell me again, why is it so expensive for fuel when we have the refineries here? It's like,
because those aren't the refineries that are supplying y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. It just goes crazy.
I gotta say though, that was my favorite part of all the COVID lockdowns at the beginning of the year, though, is that I was getting 93 for under $2 a gallon here. I think the cheapest I paid for 93, I think one time or 2 times I filled up for $1.63 on 93 octane here.
Nice. Kind of makes you wish you had like a pickup truck with a couple storage tanks in there going, I'm going to be filling up on this stuff and putting some Sta-Bil in there.
Needless to say, I was driving a lot for about a month because I'm just like, I'm not passing up the opportunity to just keep pumping this stuff in the car.
Yeah. The next shot I got here, it looks like you did. Did your car come originally with Brembos, or did you add these to your car?
I added those. That was part of last year's winter mods. I had it up in the garage for about a month and a half, 2 months. Finally doing the Brembo upgrade on the front, putting in the cooling ducts for the brakes, because I do eventually want to start taking this thing to some road course, fun run events or whatever you want to call them, like the SCCA sports car or the Racing Night in America, whatever they call those Thursday night events.
Mm-hmm.
Did those. I finally did my upper adjustable upper control arm on the rear. And that's when I had the front torn apart to put in the radiator and the heat exchanger.
Okay.
I can't think of what else I did during those winter mods.
Did you also do the rotor upgrade, or did you have to change the rotors?
Well, I did have to go to bigger rotors.
14s?
That came with the Brembo package. Yeah, they were like 13.8 or 14 inch.
Okay. Yeah.
I replaced the rear brakes just so that I could have, red powder coated ones to match the front, so I didn't have those ugly factory gray or silver ones on the back.
Gotcha.
And I also took in it. It was probably one of the toughest things that I did, emotionally anyway, was when I took the rear bumper cover off and actually cut it to put that Boss 302 rear balancer diffuser on there. Because doing that does involve cutting part of the rear bumper cover. And it did not go easily when I took that cut-off wheel to it at first.
Okay, let me see if I pull that up, because I don't think I have that shot, but I'm pulling that up on the one of your top shots, so I'm looking at the back end shot of it. So let me see if I can blow this picture up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Let's go back here. Here we go. Got it here. So you got the. I'm assuming it's like it was one of your most recent ones of photos. So I'm assuming that's what you were talking about on your rear valance. The
black plastic bottom diffuser piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my car just came. It was the premium GT premium package, so it just had the color mat. Everything on the back was the same color,
right?
And it didn't actually have a diffuser on there. It just
right.
tucked under the car. So to put that on, you actually have to cut up around the exhaust cutouts.
Okay.
And then cut an entire piece off of the bottom, so that you can, and then you have to actually mill out a couple of slots to get the tabs from the diffuser to go in, and it was kind of nerve-wracking when I started cutting into that. I questioned myself a few times, like, do you really want to do this? If you mess this up, you've got to go spend about $600 on a new one.
Oh, that's so true. Now, what was yours? Is like what, a 2014?
Yeah, it's a 14.
Okay. Yeah, one of my former employers, when I was working for him, he one of the things that he wound up doing, he found like a deal where a source for brand new takeoff parts for the Mustangs, and what he was doing was he convinced one of the local dealerships to, hey, you can create a GT appearance package, so we'd get these V6 Mustangs from the dealer and basically swap bumper covers, front and rear, wire up the fog lights with all OEM parts and everything, and then they could then turn around and mark it up to dealership market for whatever package. So somebody who can't afford a GT can have the appearance of one that looks like it. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we had like a lot of takeoff bumper covers, our whatever collection of colored bumper covers that the supplier would send us, and then it's like, okay, what are we going to do with all these V6 bumper covers? He goes, they don't want it, so okay. And then like, I made one phone call, and one of my body and replacement suppliers says, "How much you want to give me for them?" He goes, "Okay, I'll buy them." So cool. It's like, write the check to the boss. I don't want to know any improprietary accusations being made.
Yeah.
So that goes.
It's amazing what those body shops will do, though. I was because I had the hood from my V6 Mustang still kicking around here, and then the factory hood that came off of this one I still had sitting in the garage, and I put them up on, I don't know if it was Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I think it was Marketplace, and some guy from Louisville, got a hold of me and was like, "Hey, I'll take the hood." And he met me down here, squeezed that thing into the back of his Tahoe, and then he's like, "What other Mustang parts do you have? I'll take them all." I'm like, "What business are you in?" He goes, "Oh, I run a body shop." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Yeah, I got another hood at home, and I got this at home, I got this at home." He's like, "I'll take it all." I'm like, "Well, damn. All right."
Hey, works. Well, it's like there's a one YouTube channel I follow. He's actually in, I think, your neck of the woods. He's in Tennessee. I think Georgia or Tennessee, one of the two. It's a shop called Condor Builds, and he's right in the middle of, well, him and his dad. They're basically literally kind of put things on hold, and they're rebuilding their shop, literally expanding yet tearing down their shop. So you imagine like a cinder block walls, brand new cinder block walls, expanding in the back end, and front walls, for new 16-foot, roll up doors, everything. So they're documenting this process, and I'm like going, wow, all because of the fact that about a year and a half ago, him and his dad went to a prison in Florida where they won like a government auction on a downdraft paint booth that was like maybe 10 or 15 paint jobs were done on the car and never reused again. So they got like essentially a brand new paint booth. So they're building their new shop around the paint booth basically for better quality paint jobs, and they've been documenting it. But he does a lot of rebuilds on his channel, and he picked up a Alfa Romeo, one of the high-end Alfa Romeos. But the problem was it has a carbon fiber hood that's damaged. So the dealership wanted like 10 grand for the hood, but he found the same color hood in Michigan along with a headlight that he needed, and another guy. So basically he made like from Tennessee all the way up to Michigan in 24 hours to buy all the parts he needed just so he could save a few bucks.
Wow. That's dedication right there.
Yeah, and plus, he made a video out of it, so it was good content. So it's like, it was interesting, and it's good. It'll be interesting to see once the shop is fully built. I mean, it's like his dad's like, I guess apparently you would think, oh, he's a body man, but I guess dad was from another country, came here, but I guess maybe his dad in the old country was like, it had an engineering background, and his dad literally designed like these steel beam trusses that they made themselves that they're going to use for their roof. So it's like watching the whole process. It's like, it's a good build list. If you ever get a chance to find, I'll email you the link or DM you the link to their channel if you ever want to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely would love to check that out.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like Tennessee has like a lot of very big popular YouTubers right now. It's like there's a guy called V-Tunes who's right in the middle of rebuilding a 720S McLaren.
So see, we got Xander 13. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's got a twin turbo S550.
Okay, well, not too familiar, but I'll have to check him out.
And I forget what his username is, but there's another guy about 45 minutes away from me, Ken Hilliard. I think it's Speed Fanatic 731 might be his username. He's got a turbocharged S550.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, he does a lot of I don't want to say how-to videos, but he does a lot of like build videos and stuff on whether it's his car or other cars that he has worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of other ones that are like out of the Nashville area that I off the top of my head I can't think of who they are, but yeah, it's the car scene in Nashville and just the content creators in the scene in Tennessee is definitely really good.
That's one of the things that I was also, because basically like everybody else, gamers, YouTubers, whatever, everybody has a Discord server. So I have one, but I created a subsection for automotive YouTubers that want to join in, and it can be like, it's a private, not open to the public, it'd be private. So if anybody wanted to discuss about issues or possibly setting up collabs, that's there. So if you're interested in something like that, I'll email you an invite link, and if you know of anybody you want to recommend, I'll send the invite link to you to that server if you're into that type of stuff, and we'll keep it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like not everybody is into Discord.
Help all these guys out.
Yeah. But so, we got that. And let's see. What else could we talk about? Well, see, I got a photo here with a lot of detailing products. So is there a particular vendor you like using? Looks like Chemical Guys in the shop.
Yes. I mean, I'm not affiliated or anything because they actually don't have a sponsorship program at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But from all the stuff that I have used so far, and there are plenty of products that I haven't used yet, but Chemical Guys so far has given me the best results and the results that I've been looking for. Obviously there's, like Adams is out there, Jack's Wax is out there. I haven't had an opportunity to try those yet. Mm-hmm. But, I'm happy with what I get out of Chemical Guys, so I really don't see a need to go try another brand right now.
Right. Well, the thing I notice about them, because I guess they have the Chemical Guys, all of their products and tools that they offer, but I guess they have their business model and also like their franchise business model in, because they're I could be wrong, but I believe the Detail Garage franchise is associated with them. So you got all of these Detail Garage.
And unfortunately, they don't have a single one here in Tennessee.
Hey.
Every chance I get when I see them post online, I'm like, they keep asking, where do you want to see another one? And I keep telling them, Nashville or Memphis will be a gold mine for them to open one up. So Chemical Guys, if y'all are listening, Nashville or Memphis, you guys will make money hand over fist in either of those cities.
Or a entrepreneur who wants to bite the bullet and make the commitment to opening up a location.
Yes, I will have to find that pair of jeans that has that wad of cash in it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. It's like with me, it's like, one of the things I've been looking for is, you imagine being in California, commercial real estate is through the roof. So just trying to find just trying to find a nice small, I guess you could say hobby shop or whatever that I can maybe squeeze 1 2-post lift in there, to work on cars and as well as film, episodes is one of my goals. But, pipe dreams.
Yeah, I hear you.
So cool. Yeah, I got a shot here. It looks like, I'm assuming it's like one of your other shops you've used. I don't know how often or whatnot. Proline Tint, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it's, that was the, when I had my windows tinted back in August.
Okay.
I had Anthony down at Proline, recommended by a good friend of mine, and the guy does a phenomenal job. So if you are in the area of, West Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, and you want your windows tinted, look up Proline Tint in Jackson. His prices are great, and he's, aside from being very knowledgeable and professional on how to, do tint, he's just a stand-up guy. Will have no problem, talking with you, find out exactly what you want, and even throughout the process, letting you know how he's doing and stuff. He just really great, top-notch.
That's always good, and I believe in always support the small guy or independent guys. Whatever you could do. It's like people need to realize it's like, look, it's like if we don't support the little guys, no matter what, even right now with lockdown the way it is, it's like, even though you can't go to a restaurant and order, dine in there or whatever, but you know what, if they're set up for to-go orders, or if they're set up with one of the cell phone order drive service, apps, do it and support them, because that's the only way that some of these businesses are going to survive under these draconian rules.
Exactly. And even without COVID, and all of these restrictions and whatnot, still, show the small shop owner, the mom and pop shops, some love, because just the big box stores are absolutely killing these people.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like with one of my old bosses that I had, he always would tell me, it's like, we got to support the small guys no matter what. When we needed a speed part, especially basically you would say, a specialty fitting, like an AN fitting or something, instead of ordering it online, he says, yeah, go over to so and so speed shop and go pick it up. He goes, okay. And the reason why he says, we got to keep keep them in business. And unfortunately,
Exactly.
and here's the thing, it's like, I get it. Gearheads are, well, I hate to say it, cheapskates. That's the nature of it. Or as I like to, I'm coining this phrase. I'm going to put it on a T-shirt so nobody can take it. I'm trademarking it now. Racers make the best recyclers. If you think about it, because a racer is always going to look for a used part versus buying it new. So, guess what? They make the best recyclers. But yeah, and what happens is these businesses can't keep their brick and mortar businesses open, and so when you on a Friday night when you need a part and you can't go to the local speed shop because guess what? They're out of business. So
yeah, and now you're waiting until Tuesday to get your part.
Exactly. So yeah, support your small business. Yeah, they may be a little higher, but guess what? They also got electric bills, utility bills, and rent to pay, and overhead employees to pay. It's like support them. But it is. Actually, the next shot I'm pulling up, it's a great shot. It's like I guess you're in front of a Greyhound bus station. There's like you in the middle,
yeah.
a black car and a blue car, and I go, I like this shot.
Oh yes, that is. That was down in Jackson, Tennessee. It's the old Greyhound bus terminal down there. It's actually not even a bus terminal anymore. It's over on the other side of town. They went in, they refurbished it, and use it as like an art space now.
Okay.
They still kept all the original neon lighting, and every night they turn the lights on. And I had driven past it, ever since even before I moved to Tennessee, and I would fly to Tennessee to visit my kids. The one or two times we went through that town and saw it, I said, man, and even before, I was really, into the cars and stuff, and shooting cars I just want to get a photo of that. And I didn't even know at the time that they still lit the place up, because at the time it was, pretty run down. I think they were still using it as the bus terminal, actually. And when a buddy of mine, one of the ones in the picture, Mike, told me that, hey, they redid it, it lights up, you should go there and take shots of the cars, I was all over it. So, and that night, that was actually 4th of July this year. Okay. We went down after a car show, and met up with my buddy Mike in the blue S550. He's turbo 2.3, and the black S197 is a good buddy of mine, John Nick. He's Dark Horse 50 on Instagram. And little fun fact, Nick actually back in May got a recording record deal.
Nice. Congrats.
Him and his brother, and they're the Hutchinson brothers. If y'all want to look them up on Spotify, they got some good songs, good country music.
Okay. Definitely will want to get back into editing, and I'll try to remember to, when I'm listening, have my notepad out to jot down all of these people to list in the show notes.
Yeah, any of them. Just if you need the actual screen names of them, shoot me a message. I'll get those over to you so you can plug those in.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. That's what this whole show's about, and it's like, I shall throw this out there to anybody who's made it this far into the conversation or listening. Hey, if you have any suggestions for anybody you think who would be a great guest to appear on the show, please do so. Contact me in the DMs on Instagram, YouTube, or visit me on my website, gearvlogs.com. I got my contact information there. And it's like, if you have any suggestions, send them my way. Send me links. I'll review it. And if I think it's that's going to be popular enough for some, for you guys to enjoy, I'll try to feature. I'll reach out to them and feature them. So, hey, I extend that offer to everybody. So,
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Exactly. I try to be easygoing. But yeah, it's like, it's like in this day and age of everything with run down and everything, and I hate to say it, it's like you're going to have stupid idiot kids. I'm surprised that no kids have started taking pop shot rocks at those neon lights right now. That.
Oh yeah, and if you saw the neighborhood that it was adjacent to, you'd be asking that question even more.
Yeah. So at least, if anything, it's like that neighborhood must have a sense of community pride or something that if it's still around being lit up nightly like that,
yeah.
You know.
I think that can be attributed to all of the artificial intelligence security cameras that are all over that city.
That's true. I never thought about AIs and good old the modern day CCTVs and Ring doorbells that are out there.
Oh yeah, and those are. I mean, they got those AI cameras pretty much on every block down there.
And then I got pull this one shot. Looks like another night shot here. It's like you're in the middle of a roadway or a street, a bunch of brick building backgrounds.
Is that one of the more recent ones?
I'm not sure how recent it was. It was. It's like
that was a. You'd have to take a guess that's my most recent one from when I went up to Kansas City last weekend.
Yeah, it says you were tagged West Bottoms Historic District. Let the lights shine.
That was that was a fun shoot. I got up nice and early in the morning. Got out there before sunrise. Froze my butt off. And but I knew that there wasn't going to be anybody around down there, so I could basically have free reign to do whatever I want without having to worry about cars coming and either hitting me or getting in my shots and whatnot. And there's definitely a few more good shots from that morning still to come on my feed over the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Definitely gonna be looking. I'm just guessing that you probably for that shot you probably used the DSLR, or are you like most everybody else using this iPhone?
No. I'm all. I mean, if I'll take quick shots with my Samsung, I don't do the whole iPhone thing. But see posted on my page or done with my DSLR.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious. What lenses did you use?
The main body that I use is a Canon 1DX. And this was probably with my 24 to 70. So I think I was still using that. Obviously, I was still on the tripod at the time. I've got a couple more other shots coming up. I stood back a little bit and used my 70 to 200 on it, and got the background nice and blurred out.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. That's like, well, I'm not made it up yet to the full frame camera yet. I'm just working off of when I do use my DSLR, a Canon 80D, and I definitely want to add a 2470 to my list.
Yeah, I definitely recommend getting the
dream list of
lenses.
Lens. But
this one it's an f4 lens, and I only got it because my 2.8 broke, and I was in a pinch and didn't exactly have $2,000 to throw at another f2.8 lens at the time.
Yeah, it's it is what it is. It's like recently I just sent mine off to Canon to have it checked out and worked on an issue that I was having and got it back, and then started using it again, and then I realized, great, now I got to send it back again. The audio is intermittent, cutting in and out on it when I'm shooting video on it, so it's like, crap. How much more is this gonna cost me now?
Oh yeah, it was,
another $250.
My 70 to 200. Yeah, luckily I was a member of Canon Professional Services at the time, and I was shooting 2 nights a week. I was a track photographer at a local speedway. So I was shooting races on a Friday night and a Saturday night, and I went down on luckily there was no race on Saturday. I was down there on a Friday night shooting, and I was having focusing issues with my lens, and was like, this isn't good. Monday morning, stuffed it in a box, went out at lunch at work, shipped it off. CPS looked at it, had it back to me by Friday afternoon. And for $485 later to fix the focusing motor in the thing.
Wow. So, let's see. I also got some videos that we can try to showcase if you want, or do you want to move on to other subjects that we kind of talked about a little bit? It's up to you.
I mean, I'll talk about the car all night long. I mean, I'll keep you on here till 2 o'clock in the morning talking about all this stuff. Or, between the car, cameras, whatever. So, if you want to switch gears into something else, I am all for it.
And some of you folks may start get a little political, so I apologize, but it's car Mustang related, so stay tuned for that. And we'll pull that on there in a second. Let me get to that point. Okay. So, what are your thoughts on Ford going electric with the Mach-E?
Oh, man. It's all right. And I know that it's a pretty controversial topic for a lot of people in not only the Mustang community, but just, the car community in general. There's a lot of mixed feelings, mixed emotions about it. And, I'll admit, and some of my Mustang friends and fans may not like me for this, but I think the vehicle itself is a great idea. We are evolving. It is that time where, we do need those kind of vehicles more and more. It would be nice if they could find a way to, not hurt the environment so much making the batteries for them. But, the concept of not having to burn fossil fuels while you're driving around, great concept, and that's what the world is coming to, and we have to accept that fact and move with the times. No problem there. The design of the car is great. The sportier versions of it, they do look good. My only problem, take the name off the car. That is not a Mustang. It should not have the Mustang name on it. The Mustang is not an SUV. Mustang is not even a brand. It is a model of a car that Ford produces. So, don't start using Mustang as a way to brand stuff. What's next? Are we going to have a 4-door SUV, full-size SUV that you're going to slap the Mustang name on? I don't know. It blows my mind that Ford chose the Mustang community to alienate by doing that. They should have just called it. What's that?
Oh, it's like something else. It's like what we were talking about, I think, earlier about when we were prepping for this episode. It's like, what was it with Ford, their trademark branding office? It's like, you guys produced the, fossil fuel version of the Mach 1 recently, or even have it for a 2021 model year, so you're good to go on your rights, your trademark rights for that car for a while. So it's like, they could have easily picked a different name, they could have called it Probe, Yeah,
I
Probe E or Edge or Escape.
They didn't call it a Mach 1E. They didn't use Mach 1. They said it's the Mach E. That's fine. Just call it the Ford Mach E.
Yeah.
Just plain and simple. Call it the Edge or Escape. Those two models always get me mixed up which one is which, but that's what that vehicle essentially is an electric version of the Edge or the Escape. Call it that. There was no need to put the Mustang name on it other than for a gimmick, to get people to notice it. And granted, kudos to them because it did work. From a marketing standpoint, It got people talking about it, and it got it noticed. You know, had they called it the Escape, nobody would talk about it. Nobody would really even care that it existed.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it kind of like how it goes. And what I'm going to be leading up into now is like, here in California, our gracious governor has signed into a bill the banning of new gas-powered cars by 2035. So, and then he had held a press conference on this. And if you're up for it, I'm going to play the clip from the LA Times of the live press conference of it, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the audio. The viewers will be able to hear it and see it. And in between, I'll stop it, and I'm going to give my takes between. I'm not going to play all the video in its entirety. I'm going to break it up so that way, somebody can't copyright strike me for not making a fair use. I'm going to interject my thoughts into this video. And I want to get your thoughts onto it. So let's put it on here, and let's see. Okay, here we go. I got the footage up, and I got my. Hold on, make sure that is on. And here we go with his press conference. Let's see what he says, and then I'll pause it and stop it. All that between. So here we go. Hopefully you can hear it.
California, that we've been suffering and struggling through simultaneous crises. And as a consequence, we've been challenged as a state in ways that, frankly, we haven't been in quite some time. Of all the simultaneous crises that we face as a state, and I would argue as a nation, and for that matter, from a global perspective, none is more impactful, none is more forceful than the issue of the climate crisis. And that's exactly what we're advancing here today, is a strategy to address that crisis head on, to be as bold as the problem is big, to recognize and reconcile the fact that we have agency, that we can shape this debate, we can shape our future, that we're not just victims of fate. We've set ambitious goals in the state of California. I don't know any other state in this country that's been more forceful and forthright in establishing and anchoring a consciousness around climate change, a willingness to begin the process, the hard work of decarbonizing, detoxifying our economy. But goals are nothing more than dreams with deadlines. We have an obligation to implement those goals, to apply policy to accelerate our ideals and to advance our cause. And today,
so basically, he's trying to. Sorry if I'm coming a little too hot. Here we go. He's basically trying to say all of the climate issues that the world's facing is all in California's fault. I mean, what's he thinking? You know, and it's like, it's bad enough he has CARB, which is the California Air Resource Board, which, in my opinion, is like anything that can generate pollution or whatever, they're totally against. And it's like, I got a playlist on my channel from maybe dating back 5-10 years ago of when they started affecting how CARB basically affected the tractor trailer, basically the big rig diesel truck market. They literally, in one community in Eureka, California, literally killed a logging trucker community that was thriving in that area because of the rules that they implemented. Like literally a guy who spent $20,000 putting a brand new engine into his tractor, goes to registers it, pays the DMV the fees, but doesn't receive his tags, goes to DMV, finds out, where's my tags? CARB is saying that your VIN is invalid. And he goes, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, because VIN's like saying it doesn't have enough digits in the VIN, so it doesn't have the 17 characters that modern vehicles and trucks have, because his truck was so old. basically the truck that he had, his grandfather had purchased. He bought it from his grandfather, had it, sold it to his dad. He then bought it from his dad. And it just shows you how well he was maintaining this vehicle. And they wouldn't let him register it because it had no of the new monitoring equipment required that the modern trucks had for diagnostic stuff. So it's
and
like
they wouldn't even let that get grandfathered in.
Nope. They tried to get him to there's a grant program where you can buy a newer vehicle, to get your old one off. But he looked around the numbers and was like, yeah, let's see. Use the grant money and I'll buy a newer vehicle that I'll only be able to use for about 2 or 3 years before I have to upgrade again, based on their rules and requirements.
Which, hearing that just makes me worry or wonder about what's down the road for your governor's, foresight on banning fossil fuel burning vehicles, or at least the purchase of new, fuel burning vehicles come 2035. If you, Mario, decide you want to sell me a 1992 Ford Mustang,
Mm-hmm.
am I going to be able to go register it in the year 2036, even though it's already been, in existence? It's not a brand new, fuel burning car, but it's, by what he was saying, in his plan, that existing cars will still be able to be traded and sold amongst people. Well, that right there, what that logger was going through, goes to show that CARB is probably going to say, no, that's not going to happen.
And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen. He actually, in this address, he says that. I don't know what have it queued up in it, but he basically says that, no, this ban is not going to affect you collectors and traders of old cars that are on the road right now. He says that, but CARB is not going to do that. Let's just say, yeah, you're saying that now, but after you've left office, somebody else, they're going to change it. It's
so, in his eyes, it's not going to affect the collectors because his friends that are collectors probably don't drive their cars and just park them in a garage.
Or in a museum.
Yeah, it can't affect someone who doesn't put the car on the road.
Yeah.
But those people like us that actually take pride in our vehicles and like to get enjoyment out of driving them, it's going to cause grief.
Exactly. And here's the other thing also with it, because of the fact that, okay, you're going to be trading, you'll be able to buy a used vehicle. So what's going to keep DMV or CARB, because it's a fossil burning fuel, that they're not going to penalize the owners who wish to keep those cars. They're going to deep down, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's going to be taxes and all sorts of stuff that's going to basically be forcing people to get rid of their stuff.
Exactly, and that's what I'm afraid is going to happen. Along as well as, okay, old cars, things break. So what's going to happen when you need to find parts? Are they going to put more higher taxes, or they're going to put a moratorium on being able to acquire parts to repair those cars?
Mm-hmm.
It's asinine, and it goes back to, like, people wonder why California is so expensive. It's like because of what they did with the tractor trailer laws. There's no shipping company in the United States that will send any of their fleet trucks into California. They will purposely stop in, like, Nevada, Arizona, Oregon to unload their goods to vehicles that are approved for, California. It's like, if you've ever been to California and you've driven on our roads out here, and you'll see these big rig trucks, they'll have these big stickers on the side of the doors on the sides. California mission approved.
Huh.
So, Yeah. So between all the costs of those shippers having to offload their goods from one truck to another just so they can bring it into California, and you wonder why it costs so much for a bag of potato chips.
Hmm.
It's it's asinine on top of everything else and how they manage it. And then they say, we got all of our climate change is based on forest fires. No, that's part of it because of bad forestry management, because you guys don't do jack shit for clear cutting or dead growth and shit. And
Yeah.
then you have PG&E with their power lines that caused some of the fires that we had here. It's like, okay, yeah, they're trying to right now in the process of PG&E has started to, which is Pacific Gas and Electric for those who don't know what it is, what that stands for. That's basically our state's utility for most of California. They're in the process of moving high power transmission lines underground. At the current rate that they're doing it, it's going to be about 1,000 years before they're completed moving all of the underground transmission lines underground. They estimate that they'll be able to move, if I read it correctly, 150 miles per year of replacing lines. If you want to believe that.
Wow, that's only 150 miles per year.
Yeah, between all of the obstacles, the digging, and then probably, I'm sure there's probably some environmental impact studies that they have to deal with. Are we going to affect some kind of specialty tortoise or hare's habitat area by digging up the ground? And then
okay, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, and then you think it sounds like the climate. It's like you're trying to implement all of this stuff. It's like, I get it. We need to have clean air. We need to have, there's no ifs, ands, and buts around it. We need to go to alternative fuel powered vehicles. I get it, but the time frame that he has picked, I don't think it's going to happen. It's like, look at Tesla. He has his gigabit factory in Sparks, Nevada, and he can barely keep his one main production line here in the U.S., humming along without shortages and delays. And now he's trying to build another factory, a gigabit battery factory in Texas, for the quote Cybertruck. It's like, it takes time to build up these factories and the infrastructures. It's like,
yeah.
BMW just announced that they're building, I guess, in I think your neck of the woods, a factory they just announced. If you guys actually check out...
where is it? Yeah, I heard... is it in Tennessee or is it being built in South Carolina?
One of the two.
Where BMW...
Yeah.
I think it was South Carolina BMW was going to.
But they... if you head back to... GearVlogs.com. Sorry, the shameless plug from my blog, but I had a news announcement about it was BMW building a R&D battery factory. Essentially, they had like 20 acres land that they had acquired. So I don't know if it was in Tennessee or North Carolina or South Carolina, but something along those lines. So it's like not even worldwide. It's like all of these factories aren't even online yet to supply the demand. So, and like you said, it's like how much toxic waste and everything that you think it's gonna in the raw materials to create the batteries that they need to stuff into these cars.
I mean, yeah, just to mine the batteries, or mine the material to make the batteries, rather.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be great if you could actually just mine the batteries. We wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
Right.
But what goes into mining, the metals to go into it, the pollution into the atmosphere of making, the battery that's itself, once you mined the material to make it,
mm-hmm.
It's not any better off. Yeah, I get it. It burned, you're not burning anything when you're actually running the engine that battery is supplying the power to.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's kind of six of one, half a dozen of the other. They're both shit.
And then here's the other thing. Well, and we kind of learned this lesson from the first generation Toyota Priuses. Now that their battery packs are coming up to the point to where they're no longer viable and they need to be replaced. So, what are you going to do with all those battery packs? How are you going to recycle them?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the disposal portion of it, no one thinks about that. That's worse than anything.
And it's like, okay, yeah, you have like I guess the cottage industry DIYers. You got these folks that are, buying the battery cells and or the battery packs, and they'll, test them out. The ones that still hold a charge, and what they're doing is, I guess, they're trying to do like off-grid solar home type conversions, or they're building their own battery banks. Instead of the Tesla Powerwall, they're making their own versions of it. So yeah, there's that option. That if you're gonna spend some money, if you're a DIYer, to buy the holders and solder and start making soldering up your own batteries and whatnot. But not everyone's
going to. Then, I mean, they're still only going to have a certain amount of life to them. I mean, you can get them when they're not viable to be used in the car anymore. But what are you going to do when you've got a wall of batteries that you've made your power wall at your off the grid place? You've still got to get rid of them at some point after that. They're not going to work forever.
Exactly, and nobody talks about it. And I don't think there's anybody has a solution for recycling these batteries yet.
No, because it's just the standard issue of, oh, that'll be someone else's problem when it actually becomes a problem. Like, I don't have to worry about it now because it's not a problem.
Right. So yeah, and then they're saying all this stuff for the climate, and it's like there are a lot worse offenders in the world than us in California. It's like China, India. Yeah, granted, the U.S. is in third place, but our pollution levels are way, way down than China's and India's.
Yeah.
And
we may be in third place, but we're way back in third place.
Yeah.
Like, we can't even see the finish line from third place.
Exactly. And it's it's frustrating on some of the stuff that they said, all of this stuff. And here's the other thing that nobody, and I wish I was better at crunching numbers, but this is my theory about when they talk about high emission standards. Like, fortunately, California is like leader in clean air, technology. So whatever our state does, DMV requirements does, usually trickles down to all the other states that have adopted it. But this is my issue. It's like, okay, how many licensed drivers do we have in California? Then take, how many registered vehicles are there in California? And then somewhere do a correlation of, gee, you don't think that's going, the higher population is going to be driving more, and there's going to be higher emissions from those vehicles?
Yeah, or even then, take it a step further and look at how many unregistered vehicles there are in the state of California, because 9 times out of 10, those unregistered vehicles are the biggest offenders because they're older, run down, not well taken care of pieces of garbage that are putting out way more pollution than any newer gas-burning engine.
Yep. Or the great comment, the best to that analogy that was brought up by Adam Carolla. He goes, landscapers and their 2-stroke leaf blowers. Those are technically are supposed to be on the banned list in California, but yet they still have them running their 2-stroke oil. How much emission does that put out every day that guy's working 6 days a week versus my 95 Cobra Mustang.
Yeah.
You know, it,
Oh, your probably runs better than that does.
oh, yeah, it's like, one of the things I unfortunately right now is my car's sitting in the driveway. But one of the things it runs if I had the funds to pay the registration right now. But hey, try living on $200 a month, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things that I definitely do know I need to replace is my H pipe because of I could hear some the catalyst the ceramic block inside the catalyst converter is breaking apart, so it's time to replace it. But hey,
Ugh.
for a California approved, you know, part for that piece, I'm looking at $1,300.
Ouch.
Yeah, so it's like, that's if for me to get the one that's included with the all the pre bent pipes, so it just like, unbolted and bolt in the new one, so complete straight across bolt on. Yeah, you probably save a few bucks, cutting out the old ones and putting in welded ones that are approved, but then you start hacking up a car that, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you know, and then plus then you don't know how good the welder is because of the fact that he's not physically actually taking the part off of the car to weld the new part on. He's going to do it in the car and guarantee he's going to probably
Yeah.
not get a good weld or whatever, getting his welder
Right.
around the pipe. So
3/4 of it would be great weld, but that other, 25% of it's just, going to be, you hope that he got it all.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, it makes me why I really want to move out of California on some of the obstacles that I have to face. But unfortunately, I got other reasons why I'm stuck here in this state. So it's like, hey, I was born and raised here in California and I'm here in Northern California. Love it, love the weather, love the climate, and as much as the growth or the tech boom has made California here in Silicon Valley, traffic is still not as bad as, say, Southern California, where you can have 6 lanes of highways in either direction at whatever time of the day, and it's still a traffic jam down there.
Oh yeah, that was. I've gotten lucky most times that I've gone to LA, and I don't know if I was just getting on the interstate at the right time or what, but there's only been one time, maybe 2 times that I was on. I don't know if it was the 405, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just that. It was just an absolute parking lot, and it's there's whether I'm in LA, I'm in Nashville, I'm in New York, I think the same thing every time. There's no reason for this. There is no reason why 3, 4, 5 lanes of traffic cannot flow and allow people to merge on and merge off without coming to a standstill. But, the only way we're ever going to solve that is by getting 75% of the drivers on the road to pull their head out of their ass.
Yep.
If you know your exit is coming up in a mile, get over to the right side or left side if it's a left exit. Get ready. Don't wait till you're 30 feet from the exit and go, shit, I got to cross 3 lanes of traffic and get off.
Yeah. And that's the things like here growing up in California, you learn that as, you start when your exit is coming up, you start making your way across as soon as you can. And
Yeah.
it's just like, it's basic common sense. Or if anything, or if you're the driver and you've seen somebody who's trying to merge in, let them in.
Yeah.
It's like letting one guy in is not like, and don't develop road rage for letting one guy in. Okay, the second guy who tries to sneak in, that, I'll let that pass a little bit, but depending on the situation. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's like some people it's like, yeah, yeah, but It is.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's just something that's only, I hate to say it, but it's only going to get worse as time goes on.
Yeah.
Because, I think the skill set to become a driving instructor is getting, less and less of a requirement, and just people are paying attention less and less and getting their, I don't know how some people get their licenses these days.
Yeah, it's, yeah, it is. Oh, I hate to say what I want to say. What is it? The word I want to use. I'm going brain fart right now for a second. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
No, hey, that's all right.
Yeah, it's happening. Okay, you think it's maybe time? I think we probably end this call. So what I'm going to turn over to you is right now that I always ask all of my guests: how can people find you? Where can the audience find you? Any vendors you want to thank that have helped you with your build? Now's your time to shout them out, and we'll have them in the show notes. And go.
All right. Well, as Mario mentioned at the beginning of the call, you can find me on Instagram at stretch_5.0. My photography page on there is first_edition_photography. That's my two main pages on Instagram. I'm rarely ever on Facebook. I live in West Tennessee. I hang out with the Northwest Tennessee Mustang group. We got, good amount of cars in the, good, healthy group that we hang out with, about, 10 or so cars that, see each other regularly. Let's see, Brent Speed, obviously, definitely, always got to give them big props for giving me an awesome tune when they installed my blower. And anytime I need anything from them, like technical information or whatever, they never hesitate to help me out. Mm-hmm. Dyna Performance with my carbon fiber overlays in the interior. Huge thanks to the guys over at Brom Racing for those amazing seats that keep me planted firmly in the car every time I'm in it, along with their harnesses. And even I know we didn't bring it up before. I don't know if you came across any pictures with it or not, or if I even have any in there with it, but the CM components for my amazing LED lit rear seat delete kit. Yeah. Guy does top-notch work. Anything you want, any design you send him, chances are he can make it become a reality for you.
Yeah, if there's you have it on your Instagram page, I'll try to find it, but I'm scrolling through it.
I think it's one of the people that I tag in all of my posts.
Okay, let me see if I can find. I'll pull that one up right now. Which vendor was this? The
CM Components. I think I mentioned him as on the car. I did not, and I completely apologize to him for that. I actually have to get him in my
listing,
in my captions.
It happens. But give me the link, and I'll put it in the show notes so people can check it out in the show notes. So we'll do.
And aside from them, the main vendor I've been using to buy parts for my car lately is Lethal Performance. Those guys always take care of me. If I have questions, I call them up, and they answer them right away, and always point me in the right direction. Aside from them, I use Late Model Resto.
Okay.
Those are really the only two people that I order anything from anymore. The other two big ones I'm not too pleased with lately, so they don't get my business anymore.
Gotcha. Since you brought up Lethal Performance and with your upgrades, brought up one last good question about it. Ever thinking about making a E85 upgrade?
Absolutely. I just need to come up with the money because unlike the, I believe, 18 and up Coyote engines, mine is not readily capable to do the E85 conversion. I need to do a new fuel system. I need to do new injectors. And obviously Lethal has a badass return style fuel system that I do want to purchase. Mm-hmm. So between that and the injectors, I'm looking at around $2,800 to be able to run E85 in the car.
Yeah.
So it's definitely on my list, but it's not at the top of the list right now. I know the next thing that I do want to do, power-wise, is do a cam swap on the car. That's another one that's got a hefty price tag, and Brent Speed will be handling, because unlike the old trusty 3-valves, I can't just drop new cams in this thing and go. I got to redo phasers, timing chains, get it tuned.
Hey, be thankful you don't have a 3-valve 5.4 Triton that you don't have to ever do the spark plugs in. Ugh.
I did have one of those in the F-150 that I used to have.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can say I did do plugs in that before I sold it to my ex-wife, and didn't have a single problem doing plugs on that.
You were fortunate. It took me, as well as my buddy, as well as my old boss, about a week and a half to replace both banks between the stuck spark plugs and breaking 4 or 5 spark plugs.
Oh, yes. I was worried about that, too, when I was doing it, but I just, granted, I only did 5 out of 8 plugs because there were a couple that I just couldn't reach, and get to, or, taking fuel rails off to be able to get the ratchet and the extension and everything in there. I did 5 and said that was enough. Here's your tune-up. But, they were getting the truck dirt cheap from me, so I was like, if you need to do plugs,
Yeah.
you guys can take care of them. I was like, I'll get it part of the way for you. It runs good, and they haven't had a problem with it, so it's like, I just, getting towards the back of the engine, I knew that I was going to have trouble with those if it was going to be anything. It wouldn't be a front one. Number 1 cylinder's not going to break on me, because that one I could easily, take care of.
Yeah, with me, unfortunately, with me, it was basically the design of the spark plug itself, how they designed it with the head, with that, gapless, ground shield ring that they put on the spark plug, and the carbon buildup. And it's like, Ford tells you, okay, crack it open a little bit, put some of this decarbonizing fluid in there. And it's like, that stuff really doesn't work. And it's like, it's like I knew it was going to be a pain in the ass, and that's why I wound up on the Snap. My tool truck guy says, okay, I need the repair kits for for doing the extracting broken plugs. He goes, what, you got one? He goes, just order the part and get it to me ASAP. Is what I told him. And sure enough, I actually ordered 2 different kit versions just to be on the safe side, and both kits had to be used.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it kind of then explains why that Ford had a class action lawsuit for that very reason, because of those damn plugs designs. So it's like, if anything, that what they should have figured a way to do is like, oh, you guys are going to design the thing, to figure a way to design that, like a angled port or something, to where somebody can spray decarbon material directly of where those threads would meet,
Yeah.
Or something.
Or, design it in a way that we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but that goes back, for the people that don't know, most of the spark plugs that are in these trucks were designed to be, they're platinum spark plugs designed to last 100,000 miles. After 100,000 miles, you got a lot of carbon buildup. But if you had changed the spark plugs at like a normal intervals, like maybe 30,000, 50,000 miles, you might not run into those issues. But there are probably guys out there that says, oh, that what I'm talking about is, nothing. I could do those all day long. Yeah, great. Yeah, you probably can do them. More power to you. But I'm not taking a 3/8, impact wrench on a driver to break spark plugs off.
Yeah.
But
that's probably one of the saving graces of having a blower on my car, is because I don't ever have to worry about having a spark plug in that car long enough to worry about the carbon buildup, anything seizing, because I have to replace them about every 10,000 miles.
Yeah, so you're...
Granted, it's not easy on the wallet when I'm spending $9 a plug.
Right.
But, changing them twice a year, they're not going to be sitting in there long enough to seize up on me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, I think, about it on that aspect. We got everything. So I'm going to do my little outro message to everybody before we end this call. So let me see. Be sure to check the show notes for all the links that we have. Like this video or this podcast, share it, comment about this episode, what you liked, didn't like about it, good, bad, I don't care. I'm a big boy, I can hear it. If you have a suggestion for who my next guest could be, also leave it down in the comments so we can have it out. And till next time, everyone, see ya.